What's up, my fitness family? Today I'm going to be sharing with you a beginner workout that you could do at home or at the gym, made simple. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Brent Kasmer. This is BKPT, Brent Kasmer Personal Training. And this is going to be just like if I was right there with you for this training session. So not only am I going to teach you the workout itself, sets, reps, exercises themselves, but also those careless mistakes that a lot of times new people make when going into the gym or when starting a new program on their own. Alright, so I'm going to go through proper technique, simple things so that way you don't get hurt, and then also just silly errors that you could possibly make. So we're going to start off, we're going to do 4 exercises, and this is going to be a quad set. So it's going to be 4 exercises, we're going to do them back to back to back to back, and then we're going to repeat it 3 times and then move on to the next quad set. We're going to do the same thing, 4 exercises back to back to back to back, and then you'll repeat that, and it's going to be 3 sets of that as well. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and just explain the sets and reps and all that fun stuff, and let's play. Alright, so first off, we're going to start off with a lat pull down bar. Oh my gosh, I didn't even say this. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe to my channel. I'm always trying to put out the best content out there. Make sure you hit that notification bell, that way you're notified as the new content is coming out, so that way you're up to date with all this new information as I pump it out there for you. And show me some love, give me some likes, so that way I know you're enjoying the content. Put some comments in there, that way I know what is relevant to what you're looking for. Alright, so this is a lat pull down bar. So this bar weighs about in between like 8 to 15 pounds. So first common mistake people do is they'll put this bar on if it's not on already, and they'll walk over to change the weight for the bar and pull the pin out, and the bar weighs more than nothing. So if I didn't have my hand on the top of this, it would be coming down, bam, hit me in the back of the head a lot harder than it just did. Alright, so first thing, make sure you put your hand on the top of the weight stack as you change your weight, especially when you're using a lat pull down bar or any type of heavier bar on a cable machine. The next one is, usually at a gym, you'll have the 2 rolling pads that go over top of your knees, so you sit down in the chair, either adjust the seat or adjust the rolling pads to make sure they're nice and snug on your legs, holding you down. As soon as you get that set, you would grab the bar and grab it shoulder width apart, sitting down, and you're going to exhale as you pull this bar down towards you. So exhale as you pull it down, slowly releasing it up. So you don't want to ever just let the weight fly up. That's the biggest no-no mistake. So you're going to be getting hurt, you're going to be getting your shoulders either ripped out of the sockets or just getting injured in general. So pull down, you can do that fairly quick, but at the same time control on the way up. A lot of times when people are starting with me, I will only have them go about 95% of the way up, just because they're learning how to engage their muscles, and you always want to keep your muscles under the tension. So 12 to 15 repetitions, setting that down, and then we're going to move on to a dumbbell bench press. Okay, so dumbbell bench press, I'm going to show you right here. Couple quick tips with the dumbbell bench press. Just make sure when you grab the weights. So several things about just getting set up properly for your bench press. You always want to hold the weights, set them on your thighs, and then have a seat with them, okay? The reason all of that is because if you have them on the floor like this, and you try to swing them up into position, you're going to end up, most people get hurt getting into and out of position for the exercises. It's not so much the exercises themselves. So the other big no-no mistake is laying down and trying to grab the dumbbells at this exposed position where you're trying to pull them up to your shoulders, and it's not healthy. So don't do that, alright? So these are some major things that I see people do improperly when I'm at the gym itself. Also, whenever you're grabbing weights, you always want to make sure your body's tight. You don't want to ever just grab it relaxed, because then you'll end up hurting your back. And the biggest thing that kind of derails people, obviously lack of motivation, but if you get injured, it's going to really set you back, and then you're just going to be frustrated because you're not going to know how to work out, working around your injury, and all of those types of things as well. So picking them up, keep your body tight, rolling back, then right into position, And then we're gonna press these up. Same thing, just like I was teaching you before. About 95% of the way up, just so that way you keep that muscle under tension. Another thing you don't want to do is flare your elbows straight out to the side. Just a lot of torque on your shoulders. I'll make sure I try to, when I'm starting with somebody also, I have them hold those dumbbells at about a 45-degree angle, because it helps to force those elbows into the right position, at least until you start to get into that groove and understand exactly where those dumbbells are supposed to go. See how I'm coming down? It's right next to my chest and pressing up right over my chest. All right, so bring them down and then just drop them down to the ground. So don't try to do anything too funny. Don't hold them up here and stand up with them and let them swing all the way to the floor. Same thing, big no-no, don't do that. All right, the third exercise is going to be a single arm dumbbell row. So we're gonna place our right knee and our right hand on the bench. You're gonna grab this dumbbell with your left hand. So same thing, grabbing it with your left hand, your body's tight, holding a firm grip, placing that right hand directly under your shoulder, knees on the bench, and you're gonna drive this elbow straight back. So driving that elbow straight back, dragging your arm right along your side. What do you think I'm gonna say? So when you come down, don't extend it all the way out. So especially don't overextend it. And don't try to rip it up all the way up here either. So you want a nice controlled motion, driving it up, controlling it all the way down, 95% of the way down, so that way you don't overextend that shoulder. 12 to 15 repetitions, boom, other side, 12 to 15 repetitions, same knee, we just swap out, opposite knee, hand, driving that elbow straight up as well. Not overextending it. All right, the fourth exercise we're going to go into is a lying leg lower. Let me grab a mat real quick. So we have a lying leg lower. So I'm laying on the floor, got the mat set up. Do you see how this is all nice and tight too? Like you want to set up a little spot so that way it's nice and tight. You're not running from one side of the gym to the other. You're not running across the house to different parts of your house. You're literally just going to have it all set up. One little tight confined spot and knock this out. So hands are under your butt. So top part of your butt, lower part of your back. Just like that. You're going to bring your knees in. Both feet simultaneously. Up and lower them down. The biggest thing with this one is you don't want to arch your back up off the floor. So you want to keep your back snug to the floor. As soon as you feel that back arch, you're going to drive those knees in. So up, drive those knees in. Drive those knees in. All right? So make sure and as you get stronger, you're going to be able to go deeper into that leg lower. It's just about making sure that back stays snug on the floor. If you have to, you can. Go ahead and just do one leg at a time. Keep the other leg bent until you're able to keep that back snug on the floor. All right, so you would do the same thing. 12 to 15 repetitions of that as well. So those are some of the biggest, mistakes that people make when starting, to do these exercises. So I'm trying to help you so that you don't make those mistakes and that way you stay injury free. You would go through those 4 exercises 3 times with 12 to 15 repetitions each time. Make sure you're jotting these weights down so that way you know exactly what weights you're using, so that way you can make sure you're increasing them as well. So one huge quick pro tip, are you ready, is going to be, a lot of times you think you're getting stronger, you're feeling good, and you want to jump up weights super fast, but you're just starting to work out. Your muscles might be able to adapt and they'll get stronger faster, but your tendons and joints and all that stuff aren't going to adapt as fast. So just give it some time, especially if you're just starting out, so that way you don't get hurt. All right. And when I say give it some time, like 3 to 5 weeks, depending on that range, just depending on how long it has been since you haven't worked out before. And then after that, you're gonna have some fun. So just you're gonna get in shape, get in that fit lifestyle. All right, the next 4 exercises are gonna be a shoulder press, a bicep curl, an overhead tricep press, and a step up. All right. So I'm gonna raise this bench up. I want you to see, so this bench in particular has little hooks that it kind of grows up into the groove. So I'm gonna be be pushing this up so that way I'm going into a shoulder press with the bench completely upright. If I wanted to bring it down, I would push it forward out of that hook, lift that bar up, and let it slide all the way down. Other type of benches are going to be like ones that have the pull pins in them. So it's going to be a spring released pin, so that way you can pull the pin out, raise it up, put it into position, and then you'll go from there. All right. So demonstration purposes, you're seeing me just use the same dumbbells, but it's just because I'm demonstrating. So you're going to have different weights that go with each exercise, because each muscle part is going to be stronger, weaker, vice versa. So, all right, shoulder press. I'm putting the dumbbells on my knees. So, the bench press, I had them nice and tight to me here. Shoulder press, I'm putting on my knees because you're going to use the knee to help throw the dumbbell up to your shoulder. So you're going to set those on your knees, boom, throw them up onto your shoulder, and that way you're in position. So head and neck are resting on that pad, back's nice and flush. I'm pushing my legs so I'm staying snug on that bench, and I'm just driving these up. What do you think? 95% of the way. Same thing, you don't want to overextend. This one actually you don't want to overextend though too, because even when you get good at them, because if you extend all the way up, you're really just driving that tension right into your traps. So you're keeping the tension in your shoulders by going 95% of the way up on this exercise in particular. So big key things that people do when shoulder pressing is they'll push forward or they'll push backward. And and you're trying to, same thing, you're learning that range of motion. So you're learning your range of motion, so that way you want to make sure you're going straight up over your head. You can even look up at those dumbbells to make sure they're going in the right direction. So what I was saying is if you overextend, your trap is right here, so you don't want it to drive into that trap. You want to keep all that tension on that front part of your shoulder. Woo, there's a lot of talking. I'm doing a lot of teaching, a lot of coaching right here. This is some good nuggets. All right. Next one's going to be the bicep curl. And there's a specific reason why all these exercises are in the order they're in, and I'll explain that in a minute. So make sure you stay with me. All right, so bicep curl, arms are beside you. You want your knees together. The reason you want your knees together is because if you have them out here, you're going to either be bumping your legs or you're going to have to go super wide with your hands. So you want to make sure your knees are together, staying nice and tight to your body, and you're just going to curl straight up. So curl straight up. This one, guess what? You are relaxing. You're letting those dumbbells hang down beside you. You want a good full range of motion on this one. You don't want to roll your shoulders into it to help get the weight up, and you don't want to tuck your elbows back beside you to shorten that range of motion. So keep them nice and long, right down by your side, curling straight up. And then the other huge key factor when doing a bicep curl is not using your wrists. Because what happens is your forearms are going to get way fatigued faster than your biceps will. So if you're coming up, curling your wrists, you're really engaging those forearms. And I'm telling you right now, your biceps aren't going to get the work that you're trying to get them to have. So, this is a good key, huge tip right there, is keeping those wrists nice, sturdy and straight. Squeeze those dumbbells tight so that way you're not using those also. Overhead tricep press. So quick way to pick this dumbbell up when you go into an overhead tricep press would be both hands on the dumbbell. You're going to flip it up onto your shoulder so that way you can get into position. So it's just resting on your shoulder like so. You got your hand there for a little bit of support. You're going to take your other hand behind you and grab this in a diamond position. So this is the positioning for this. You're going to let it slide off of that shoulder. You're in position. Your elbows are nice and tight to your head. And you're going to drive this dumbbell straight up and straight down. So why do I have my feet off center? You do this because, especially as you're new and your core's not as strong, you're not going to be able to go into with your feet side by side. You're going to start arching your back, and you got pressure in your lower back. So you want to make sure you got your staggered step, or even to the point where you can put a foot up on a dumbbell rack or up on the bench. This is going to help you to support that lower back as well. So same thing all the way up. Good extension on that tricep. Tricep's the back of the arm. When you're done with it, bring it to that shoulder, reach around, grab it, boom, right to the floor. All right, so those are the key ways to just pick up dumbbells, get them into position, all of those types of things. So that's your first 3 exercises. Your last one, like I said, was the step up. All right, the good old step up. So when doing a step up, like you see, there's all kinds of different size boxes, or steps, or benches. So to make sure you're getting the right one and how to choose your step. So if you put your foot on the box, you want about 2 inches behind you. So I always measure 2 fingers. It's about 2 inches, give or take. You want your back leg nice and tight to the box, all right? So this is proper positioning. Hands behind your back. It helps keep your shoulders nice and tight and back. Head up, always looking up and ahead of you. So if you look down, you're gonna go take this into your lower back. You're just not in a good position. You'll build into using dumbbells and barbells for weighted step-ups, but let's at least figure this part out first. So stepping up onto the box and straight down. So if this box was too high and I couldn't do it, things that I would see is either your knees swaying in and outward depending on which part of your leg is weaker, so it's going to kind of like sway in or out depending on what's going on. Or the other thing is if you go to step up and you step up and you notice that you're putting your other foot on that box too fast to help push you up before obviously this leg can do all of the work. So you want to make sure that you're not using that other leg to help get you up. You want to get a good full extension with this leg before this leg even touches the box. Other key thing is people will, as they get tired, they'll start to step way far back because then they'll try to start shooting themselves up onto the box using that lower or that back leg as well. So those are a couple key things that people will do improperly, if the box is too high. So Brent, what do you do if this box is too easy for you? This is when you would add the dumbbells. So you're trying to really build that leg strength. So that way you would hold dumbbells, trying to get the leg stronger so you can move up to the next level of boxes also, step-ups. So you don't really need to go much higher than your knee being at 90 degrees. It's not to say you can't, it's just saying that you don't really, that's kind of like the first main goal is to get into that position where you can do a 90-degree step up. Because that's actually what you want to do when you get into those squats as well. All right? So hopefully all of this information really hit home with you. Hopefully this really hit home. You learned a lot. I know that when anybody starts a regimen, they're always like fearful, so they run to the cardio machines opposed to coming into the weight room. So I want you to feel comfortable about coming into the weight room and getting started the proper way. So this is a workout program you can pretty much do 3 to 4 times for a week, and you can do this for 3 to 5 weeks just as you're getting acclimated into this type of environment. All right. So and then post workout, especially if you're trying to burn some extra fat, you want to make sure you're jumping on a cardio piece of equipment for at least 15-20 minutes afterwards. Your heart rate's already up. You've gone through a great strength training workout, right onto that cardio, so that we can continue that burn and get the most out of it. All right? I love you guys. I hope you guys do the best. I'm strongly encouraging you to, at least, get started. Get started. Take care of yourself, and hopefully this information helps and you feel like a pro when you're in that weight room. All right? My name is Brent Kasmer. This is Brent Kasmer Personal Training. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. Mash the notification bell and send this to some people that you feel that would help too. So, because there's a lot of people that you probably know that are scared to get started or just going to go into a weight room and just start running on a treadmill and start going down that whole route opposed to actually making their body stronger and more well balanced. See you in the next episode.